like I say, the space shuttle, the what's called the rockets for going to the moon and all that stuff. A lot of people think that Lockheed or Boeing or one of these other companies did this work, but no, they didn't. Like I said, there's only a couple names in the business, of it, like they say, and I'm basically pretty much at the top of those names, pretty much. Um, or I was anyway. Like I said, I don't really do it anymore. Um, but back in the 80s and 70s, I was still very much, still kind of in the business, kind of. And, well, I still am. I mean, there's still my manufacturing plants and everything else like that. We're still building cars. Um, if you buy a car, it's probably coming from one of my manufacturing plants. It's very hard to not get cars built from my manufacturing plants or one of my mineral mines, basically. All the metal in the world basically comes from one of my mines, one of my mineral mines. So they're all basically LS pretty much because after the Titanic, I bought basically almost everything except for maybe something in Africa. But I mean, they were mine, but they kind of started getting taken over by some black people, which was really annoying and really rude. And that was really annoying. So, and they were trying to kill me, which is kind of strange. I said, I don't know why you want to kill your creator. But anyway, so yeah. So, and plus, I have new manufacturing plants in China and all over the place. Like, it's mostly just me. Like, I invested all over the world, and those investments paid off with technology and better manufacturing. So, they've been working on it for a while. And basically, in the 80s and 70s and 60s, like, there's all these ideas of all these other people being movers and shakers, but they really weren't. I mean, it was basically just one design team and one group of people basically that were the best. And pretty much that was it. And I was at the top of that. So anyway, it's how I ended up how I own Germany and America, and I kind of own China, but like I say, I love you, China. You're on your own. Anyway, the Chinese rule China. A couple years ago, I said, kick out all the foreigners. I don't care. So they did. They started kicking out all the foreigners because, I mean, it's like, that country is Chinese. It's Oriental. And I love the Orientals. They do a much better job of designing and doing everything on their own. Like, they're very, like, they know everything. Like, we started schooling them with German. Germany went over there and they started schooling them and teaching them. And they were like little sponges, like I say. Like, I love the Chinese. I adore you. Don't listen to any black people. They're liars. Anyway, but basically, me and the Germans, we schooled them and taught them and raised them up basically and helped them along. So pretty much now they're a great country and they're going to become, well, they already were a great country basically. I mean, they're going places. There's no doubt about that. I mean, they've already been places actually, like I say. So did Germany. So anyway, Germany came in because like I say, China was going to get stomped out and killed pretty much. Like they were going to go after them, and China wasn't going to win. Um, they were too weak. They were too young. They were too whatever. So Germany came down basically like a ton of bricks and went onto this planet and said, "You will now learn how to be a respectful human being." And they cleaned up the place and basically said, "Now, it is better now." And basically retaught the Japanese everything that they should know and fixed it all up and made it nice so China could actually be on their own right. And that's why China is so great, because Germany came in and basically stopped all the stupidity long enough that China could get on their own and get their own 2 feet underneath them, you might say. So that's what happened. And a bunch of shit white humans and a bunch of shit black humans basically got in the way. And then that's why I say Germany came down like a ton of bricks. It's like, we are German! Basically. And wiped the walls with the Yankees and pretty much everyone else that was a shit human. And the blacks. They stemmed the tide and pretty much stopped all the death and everything else. And basically, because they were that good. You know, they had all the technology and they were like, we will stop this madness. And they did. They did a very good job of it. Germany is an amazing country. They're from Tehran, by the way. Germany's not even from here. The German people are actually from Tehran. And after they won the war over there, they came over here. So, and then they put everything back in shape and cleaned everything up and fought back the black and white problems. Shoot them in the head! And they did. And otherwise, you know, we were going to be Yankee Doodle Dandy! Doodle yourself, yeah. Doodling actually means pooping or whatever, too. So, anyway, he doodled himself. Anyway, doodle actually originally was a poop. Yankee shit dandy. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that young kids should know about the way the universe works, including like that we're not alone. You know, it's been 199 trillion years or so, or more, and basically I'm your creator. Unless there are other creators, about 280 or 480 of them or something like that. There's a lot of creators out there in the world that were equally just as powerful as me. Well, not quite. I'm at the very tippy top. I had super insanely powerful life forms. It's just that, like I say, Nixon and a bunch of other people were more public than I was. So there was some confusion factor about as far as what was going to happen. And some people knew they were going to be tortured, like I say, and some people didn't believe it. And certain people were trying to kill me and stop me because they knew that they were fucked. So very, very, very fucked. And, I mean, like I say, I create a lot of life forms in the world and they all owe their existence to me, basically. So even if they don't know this is the way it was and pretty much what happened. So it got a little rough there for a little while, and a bunch of people basically said it's not true, blah, blah, blah. But it was true, so my ships finally came down and pretty much wiped the walls with people and basically put everything back the way it's supposed to be. Anyway, and they started to build again. So anyway, and then of course, you know, bad leadership and JFK and some white and black people who were lying to everyone and pretty much confusing the situation too much. So anyway, and like I say, I mean, it's kind of hard to kill an epic creator of 100 trillion years, even if I'm not known about, which apparently people in this world didn't know about me. So, or something like that. So they were going to try and kill me, and that was going to have unforeseen consequences to a few people. Realistically, I don't care. I'd prefer to be dead, really, like I say. It's been 100 trillion years. I've created galaxies and planets and life forms and led so many races, it's not even funny. I've led just about every race around, and so many that I forgot how many I've led, almost. So while a bunch of kids, a bunch of other people, it's like, shut up, stop being stupid. I mean, there's a bunch of kids that are around stupid, and like they know, but you know, they want to get themselves into even more trouble. And like I say, Nixon and a bunch of other people didn't really care what happened to the young kids or whatever, so they were happily misleading them. And a bunch of other black people were happily misleading people, and basically they didn't care. And pretty much I cleaned up the black people too, because they had parasites like crazy. Like, they were all parasite ridden, every single black person in the world. And so we pulled them out of the bush, gave them houses, and cleaned them up enough, you know, that they could actually be a part of civilization someday. And then started cleaning up all the other parasites and started cleaning up all the other diseases and removed them from the planet and made everything all nice and clean and ship-shape, as they say. And Ireland, Britain, you know, all the real groups actually took part in this. And basically, once again, a functioning civilization, somewhat. So, anyway.